there's a fork in the road. Do you stay with cropping and conventional agriculture, or do you move over to saltland pastures? People in the past have probably tended to try and continue to crop and use their land for normal agriculture, probably a bit too long, and you see land being tilled and repeatedly tilled and nothing growing on it. Maybe in that sort of situation the thing to do is to observe that the land is becoming more saline and waterlogged, and to make an early intervention to go into saltland pastures. And I think that's the dilemma that farmers are facing in the broad picture. I think that there are some basic land capability assessment things that we need to understand, and they relate to the level of salinity in the soil and the depth of the water table in the soil. We have a device called Saltland Genie, which helps farmers make that decision about what their land capability is. That it's going to be about the salt concentrations in the soil. It's also going to be about the way in which the soil is filling up with water. The water tables are very shallow. The site becomes waterlogged, and the site has far lower capability. But if the water tables are deeper, then perhaps there are opportunities for the plants to actually use that water as a form of sub-irrigation. But if you go to the Saltland Genie website, you can really get a chance to have a look for yourself and to start thinking about the capability of your land for yourself. The Saltland Genie has got about 12 different options, and they range from things like saltbush, dense stands of saltbush with very little understory, stands of saltbush with a larger amount of understory, tall wheatgrass, puccinelia, tree options. Often you can get a really good result on saltland simply by putting up a fence and just allowing nature to take its course, and for plants to begin to colonise an area. And Saltland Genie also talks about those as the options. But there are 12 options in Genie, and what Genie does is that it gives you a range of possibilities that you can try. Look, the options will vary depending on the kind of option that you choose, and also the degree of certainty that you want in getting a good result. For example, with the saltbush option, you can plant nursery raised seedlings, but if you buy nursery raised seedlings for 30 cents each and you wish to plant them, say, at 1,000 stems per hectare, then that's actually going to be a relatively expensive option by the time you've put those plants in. But the great advantage of nursery raised seedlings is that the results are very reliable. You have got a very high chance of having a really good outcome. On the other hand, if you're prepared to pay less, you can go for direct seeding, and direct seeding will probably give you, will probably cost only about 25% of what it would cost you to plant nursery raised seedlings, but there's a greater level of doubt often about the effectiveness of the result, and site choice becomes really, really critical then to get a good result with direct seeding. I would want to encourage farmers to have a go and develop their skills. Find out a little bit about what growing saltland pastures entails. Try something and perhaps even do that on a fairly small scale, and then as they're building their confidence and they're building their skills, and I would choose a really good site to do that on in the first instance, but when they start to build their confidence and they're getting a good result, then perhaps to think about having a solution adopted over a more extensive scale. The Saltland Genie's got a website, and we will have many of the links that people need to get onto for additional information off that website. But the Future Farm Industries Cooperative Research Centre has also got its website, and there will be local experts in the different areas, NAMOs, Natural Resource Management Officers, or CMA officers that they can contact for sources of the latest information.